Brett, Ashley, Brett, a pleasure to be speaking with both of you. And Ashley, we'll start with you, a two-parter. How's your day going, and how much prep was needed for this role in this project?
What was the first thing?
How's your day going?
Oh,
Pleasantries.
how's my day? My day is going very well. Yeah, I'm in Aspen right now, so it's very nice. There's a lot of snow. Um, yeah, very cold. Um,
Sure.
and then what was the second question? Sorry.
How much prep was needed for this role and overall project? Because obviously it's a serious time in history, a series of events that people are still affected by, etc.
Yeah, so I had originally gotten this role in 2017, so it was 6 years
Wow.
before we started filming. And it was, you know, I was very aware of McVeigh, and I remember, seeing it on the news when I was younger. I was 5 years old. But when I got the script, I was very interested to see how Mike was going to tell this story. And
Hmm.
it was really nice that I was able to have a great connection with Mike. We became very good friends, and he sent me a bunch of material to look at documentaries.
Hmm.
I read up on everything about McVeigh, and again, my character's fictional, so I didn't have to do a lot of research for my character, but I wanted to be aware of the world that I was going to be living in,
Right.
and it was really exciting to finally start making the movie. And then we had an amazing cast, which I was so excited to work with Brett and Anthony and Alfie, and being in a movie with Tracy Letts. I mean, it was insane. So I was very happy to be part of this project. I think it's an important story that needs to be told.
Right. Now, Brett, in your case, you are not playing a fictionalized character. You're playing somebody who's serving what, only like 141 life sentences and all that. Now, you are known to really do your homework. You
Yeah.
have the classical background, yet also all the great improv stuff, which I want to ask you about. Did you do a lot of prep to try and get into Terry's head, or did you just more follow the script?
No, I did a lot of prep. Um, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I did a lot of prep. I think it would be irresponsible not to. I did a lot of research on him, on McVeigh, on the events leading up to the attack,
Right.
and then also the vast network of white supremacists that they were descendants of, that had been developing over the last 2 decades in the United States in the way that, it formed by the 90s. And yeah, and then I also just, in addition to the research, did a lot of work on his physicality, because his physicality is way different than mine.
Mm.
He's somebody who fades into the paint in the wall if he's not speaking. He's got a non-presence. I think
No.
that's part of the reason that he is so in need of McVeigh's validation, and the validation of the whole world that they're a part of, is to give him some sort of presence. So there was that, and like there's also this like Midwestern boy to him.
Sure.
So trying to make sure I embodied all of that, it was a good amount of work.
A follow up to that before I throw it back to Ashley here, Brett, is the first time I really found out about you was through Comedy Bang Bang, which is the exact opposite of a project like this.
Yeah.
They used to say, hey, the New York lottery guy, et cetera, et cetera. When exactly did you realize that the future was going to be such dramatic roles as opposed to the improv of Comedy Bang Bang?
Well, I came, I'm like, as you said, I'm classically trained. No, but I went to
Yes.
a conservatory. And so the goal's always been to play great roles, to have a multifaceted, varied career. Uh,
Hmm.
but I also have always been funny. So,
Sure.
a good way for me to get, to start. And I need to be acting and performing. A good way to do that was when I graduated school, I got involved at the Upright Citizens Brigade. And that was in the early days of that theater. And because I was one of the only people who knew how to be on a stage, I shot up the ranks real fast and got a lot of stage time. And then that's, where I sort of started my career, built my career. I am talking to you right now because of that theater. Absolutely. So,
Sure.
But I always put the same values in everything I do. It's just a question of the tone and the world that you're stepping into. So if I'm stepping into the studio with Scott Aukerman and doing that, it's going to be using different things in order to, do that as it is to step in the world that Mike Ott is creating.
Right. Now, Ashley, back to you here. Brett is not the only multi-talented person on this call. You have great credits as a singer besides this role. Are we allowed to know what's next from you, or is it McVeigh forever and ever, and that's it?
No, I mean, I doing films like McVeigh or like Spring Breakers, like very cool independent films with amazing filmmakers, and being able to be part of an incredible cast is always what I want to do. As an actor, I want to be challenged, and I want to find stories that I want to be a part of and that aren't easy to do. If I go on set, I want to make sure that every day I'm working hard, I'm challenged, and I don't want it to just kind of be an easy thing. So I like to be able to find projects I can put my whole self into. And, obviously there's certain things that are completely draining, but it's for, the work. And I think it makes you a better actor. And I just shot a movie this past summer, and I just had a baby. So I was away from my kid for 3 months, which was very challenging. But again, it's, I was lucky enough to be surrounded by an amazing cast and a great director, and just, play a different character that no one's seen before. So, yeah.
Well, follow up to Brett, and then you're both free for me. So, Ashley, as you called out earlier, you knew about this role for years before the project was made. When did you finally realize that it was a go, as opposed to somebody going, "We think we're going to make this movie"?
Every year it was, we're making it. And
Sure.
I was always calling Mike because I just loved this script, and I was like, what's happening? Are we doing this? Are we not doing it? And it's all about timing, and for good reason. And I think by the time we finally were able to film it, we had the best cast possible. Mike was so confident in
Sure.
this film, and everybody came together and really did an amazing job.
And then, Brett, the last question for you, which has nothing to do with McVeigh. We'll just keep saying McVeigh for the SEO and the algorithm and all that. The
Okay.
comedy Bang Bang character of you just being grouchy and just not being happy that he wasn't invited, was that largely Charles Grodin influenced?
Wow, what a specific question. And I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Was it largely Charles Grodin influence? Wow. I mean, maybe subconsciously, Charles Grodin is one of my heroes. And I would maybe say that Charles Grodin is, definitely top three funniest, best panel guests in the history of the art form. And I really do think that there's a lot of people who make that into an art form. And like what he would do with Letterman specifically,
Yeah.
was tremendous. But I don't know. I mean, I think that I'm one of that's sort of a thing, sort of a thing I latch onto too in my comedic persona. And sort of a thing that plays into that role and this role, which is feeling like I'm left out of the party. Of course, we're talking about different degrees here, but there's a similarity. There's a similarity. Both characters are very alienated and don't feel great about themselves.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, big up to Charles Grodin and his panel work. The best.
For sure. Well, congrats to both of you on McVeigh. Corinne, I can't speak today. Congratulations to you both on also being well adjusted, and looking forward to future projects from both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that I'm well adjusted. That means a lot.
You're well adjusted.
Paltrocast.